What is going on, hustlers? Welcome back into Hustlepedia. Today we are going to be diving into the AMA session that went on in the ADAX Telegram channel this morning. We'll recap about 35 or so questions and the highlights of each answer and things to be bullish about, or maybe things that you would have maybe liked to hear more about. There's not much of that, though. They did a pretty awesome job of answering a lot of the questions that were on the table this morning, and I think there was a lot of bullish developments to hear from the team. Mainly what to be excited about is that they say we are still on track ADAX for a Q4 launch. So that is awesome to see, and we will get into the entire AMA session here in the Telegram channel in this video. And be sure to drop down and hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. If you are bullish on ADAX, we come out with cryptocurrency, DeFi, and crypto gaming videos here on the channel every single day. And be sure to like the video if you enjoyed the video, if you are bullish on ADAX, and if you enjoyed the AMA session this morning. I would really appreciate smashing the like button. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Can someone explain the features? This is question one. We're just going to get right into it, guys. There's like 30 plus questions. I want to thumb through these and go over the highlights. Can you explain some of the features of the DEX? Is there a list of tokens that will be available for swapping? When will the bridge be operational? Referring to the ERC20 bridge. And on ADAX V1, there will be two main features: swap and order book limit orders. Also some smaller stuff like crypto sentiment charts, etc. User interface will be smooth, unlike other DEXs, as we will utilize WebSockets. Regarding tokens after bridge implementation, can't provide you with a concrete list yet. So we will see what tokens are all listed on the platform whenever they do get that finalized. And then question two, when will on-chain staking be available? Currently, obviously, the blockchain itself does not support Cardano native token staking in a proper manner. As soon as that is sorted out, we will look into creating an on-chain staking pool. And that's talking about, obviously on the Cardano chain and on their eventual DEX as well. You'll be able to stake within ADAX. We've had plans for this since the very beginning, but for the time being, X Markets off-chain staking is still available with two pools that reward either ADAX or Cardano. So you can stake right now your ADAX tokens over on X Markets, but liquidity and other staking options will be in the future. But keep in mind the Cardano native token struggle with a lot of products being held back by a lot of programs and protocols not being functional with Cardano native tokens. And then we go to question three. Do you plan on integrating with dataless wallet? This is heavily asked in my comments in my Telegram channel. Yes, but it's not a priority. At the moment, we're working on browser wallets like Giro, Nami, and Yoroi, which makes sense, guys. If you are going to be using a DEX protocol right here on your desktop, for example, you want to be able to have a slick desktop integrated wallet that's going to pop right up. As you see, like I'm hovering over like the dataless emblem down here. You can't even see it. It's cropped out. But my dataless is here, but it's not attached to my browser, if that makes sense. Everyone knows like MetaMask, Yoroi, those are like embedded in your browser, and that will really help the convenience when you're using the DEX platform. So I do understand this, the Giro, Nami, and Yoroi wallet, because it will be right there on your desktop and a very quick option if you are swapping on the DEX. When will a working demo be shown? Everyone has been talking about a demo. They want to see the product, all that stuff. Demo has a lot to do with hype, as almost anything can be mocked and don't really prove any point. Our focus is on production-ready products. The best demo will be a usable DApp on the mainnet. Nevertheless, if Dovydas asks, we'll have to show something in the meantime. So that is good to see at the very least, that they are, it seems like they'd be willing to do something. And they talk about it again later in the AMA, but interesting to see their opinion on that. And I don't disagree, but I would like to see the product. Obviously, everyone would, and I think that would just create a bullish sentiment around the community. But I understand if they want to keep their product, close to the vest, and they want to try to really have that first mover's advantage, as we'll get into as well in these questions. Then that's pretty important. Then don't roll a demo and just get to work and get it put out then. So I could see both sides of that for sure. What's the current status on wallet integrations? They're going well. There's Nami, Giro, and Yoroi. Regarding dataless implementation is planned after the initial release, so that'll be after DEX releases, and they wanted to make as user friendly as possible, and obviously that is going to be with the browser wallets, like the desktop wallets, but eventually they want to implement dataless so that people can have the convenience of using any Cardano wallet that they want. What differentiates ADAX from its competitors? Attitude towards the community. This is from Dovydas. Attitude towards the community, the DEX user interface, and experience, simplicity of the platform, additional features which are state-of-the-art, social sentiment, and most importantly to the team. From development to management, all the decisions or problem solutions are made on the spot. We don't take 2 weeks of discussing, we push things forward. So that's interesting. They're saying they could care less about, like, you know, trying to make a lot of noise right now. They're basically saying we don't take 2 weeks to discuss things. They're strictly moving forward. They are putting their head to the ground and getting things rolling with this platform. So I'd like to see that, and interesting to see what Dovydas said here on what sets us apart. I hope to see that leading innovation of like, if it's the state-of-the-art DEX that ADAX is building it to be, then it can definitely have that separation. And ADAX's community is very, very loyal and strong. So they have a lot of good things on that side. And their team, they are backed by they have very solid backers. And their team seems to be going to work, and we hope to see something soon on that. Question 7, let's imagine the Cardano platform doesn't give us the utilities we need. What will happen then? Basically, regarding problems with parallelism, concurrency, and limitations, this question is not if, but when. At the latest, those will be solved by Hydra, which is coming in the not-so-distant future, and that is a Cardano protocol, basically a Cardano feature to help the network and boost the network. As mentioned in the previous AMA, ADAX V1 does not run into these problems. In other words, solves them by using a model which is not running into them. Later versions do, and we are running R&D, research and development, to find decentralized solutions before Hydra. Cardano is responsible for giving tools to the developers to create something. It's not their goal to provide solutions for concrete cases, aka giving AMM source code. It's up to projects and developers to complete those challenges. Makes sense. And that's a very good reply by Harris, and very well spoken. Will it be possible to delegate and stake on ADAX simultaneously? Well, we'll look closer to this when we get closer to on-chain. With a limited 100 million supply, these incentives have to be calculated very closely. And don't forget, the IDO launchpad is going to come right there on the ADAX platform. So they will have a launchpad there too that will give you perks for staking your tokens there on ADAX. So that'll be awesome to see the DEX and the launchpad platform there. Are all the features on the demo that was shown still planned to be available? Next ADAX version will have all the features which were showcased, which is coming soon. Swapping and the social sentiment stays. Pouring liquidity into protocols achieved in different ways. So pools will be replaced by concentrated liquidity orders in V1. So a little bit of switch, but that's not a big deal. What are your favorite features of ADAX? User experience. Our developers did a great job to walk away from the so-called Uniswap type of DEX design, and we are happy how it turned out. Even some of the DEXs from other blockchains reached out to see if they could use some of our ideas. So interesting to see there. If that's true, that's obviously a super bullish sentiment to hear that. And I will say, like, the virtual demo that they did, it looks really clean. It definitely does. But everyone knows a virtual demo, just like on a completely, edited video on a virtual platform, can just be, fabricated. So that's why people want to see the demo. But if you want to see a demo per se, they do have one, and it does look really slick. I will not lie. But if he was to have a demo where the team is going through the DEX at some point, that is going to set the community and all the people who say that ADAX has nothing behind it or whatever on absolute fire. I mean, ADAX will be surging, and then the people who were talking down on ADAX will probably be secretly buying ADAX. So that would be interesting. And then, does ADAX still expect to have first movers advantage? Yes, they do. We are definitely on track to get there with our auditors from BT Block on board. We're ready to be, we hope to be ready before Cardano enables the Plutus. So that is good to see. And this is just a matter of finalizing everything, tweaking parts, and tweaking all of the rollouts, as the Autobots say. Tweaking and rollout, as Autobots say. So what, from a development standpoint, are bottlenecking the progress on the Cardano side of the things? Hydra, my understanding is Cardano needs to use to finalize the infrastructure required for ADAX to run. More or less, it is the same as Harris here says. I'm not going to go too deep into that one. There are some Cardano limitations, but we want to focus on ADAX here today. I've seen multiple solutions to the concurrency problem. It's good here to see a response to the concurrency problem again. And I think this is a good response. For future versions, we're looking into ways to solve it by not sacrificing decentralization. This includes state transitions or layer 2 scaling solutions. Actually, this is a topic worth getting a little bit into. How can the Cardano ecosystem thrive? Then every new dApp has to reinvent the wheel and make a solution which already should be here, as it creates unneeded barriers of entry. We needed a unified solution as a community, and that is what we're trying to achieve. This even goes a little bit beyond ADAX, so I'm sure they're working with their partners as well for that concurrency solution. But I do like that answer from Harris, and as Alfonso says here, very thorough reply. I like to hear that. What rewards will be offered to people who provide ADAX as liquidity? Platform itself has a 0.15% reward system for both maker and the taker, but as any situation, things can get negotiated, so all are welcome to hit me up at any point and discuss options. You heard the man, just DM him. Any plans to work with YouTubers or influencers moving forward? We work with BitBoy, and that's as big as we can get in terms of a partnership on YouTube, but it's not just one video. A few others are coming in the mix in the near future. Are we still on track for release in Q4? This is the main one that I love to hear. He says, hell yes. You see the baby emoji. And that's what everyone wants to hear, obviously. And once the DEX is launched, what will be the next step for long-term holders? Working on the V2 of the platform, Cardano blockchain will be evolving, and we will too. As mentioned, we will have a secondary product, our IDO launchpad. Through it, the token utility will come into play as more incentives to the holders who hold more. So that is good. As we mentioned, you'll be able to stake your ADAX to get involved in some IDO launchpad opportunities on the ADAX platform. In a nutshell, our roadmap is quite simple and clear, but at the same time, we are moving a lot of pieces that have to come together. We noticed they're making an appearance in the Cardano Light Wallet video. We covered that here on the channel. He said that was awesome to see. Basically, they woke up and that was on the IOHK channel. They love to see that. Which current partner does the team consider as the strategic best one to keep helping ADAX evolving and going forward? Which partner would ADAX like to partner up with in the future? And this kind of clarifies a couple things on the Meld partnership. There were some teetering things out there on whether they partnered with Meld or not after their last AMA, and that was all cleared up that they weren't yet partnered. There's maybe still talking to them. And then today we have a great relationship with them. C3, Charlie 3 were the first ones from Cardano ecosystem. Stockgeist, Giro Wallet, ViFi, Netvark. So that is going to be cool too. They are also partnered with Netvark. They're going to have an office in the metaverse, so that is going to be awesome to see. If you know, on this channel, we love NFT gaming, metaverse opportunities, and upcoming projects. So that is good to see that they will be having a spot in Netvark. I really like that. And just to clarify, we were on track to partner with Meld. Some things are still being worked out, and Harris and their developers are in contact. So interesting to see that they could still partner with Meld, and I think they probably will. It's just more liquidity for each protocol, and there's no reason for them not to, and there's no reason for Meld not to partner with the other DEXs other than Sunday Swap. We all know Meld partnered with Sunday. I think that, probably we see something similar upcoming whenever ADAX is getting closer to launch with Meld. I would assume at the very least, because that would just, like I said, provide liquidity for both protocols. What kind of projects have our current devs been working with earlier? We have a very versatile experience, crypto exchanges, dApps on different smart contracts, fintech, gaming, desktop apps, and more. What has been the most challenging task? Internationally, we are quite covered for a launch. A few positions open on the marketing side need to be filled. Now it's all looking past the launch, the trade volume locked, marketing, user acquisition, platform and adoption, and these will be the main challenges. And I do completely agree. They haven't met their main challenges yet. The main challenges will come whenever they do roll out the platform, and there will start being bugs in the platform. And then you're trying to get all that trade value locked. You need all the staking on your platform, on your DEX. You have to get that liquidity in there. You have to have the platform adoption, marketing, all that good stuff. So if this has been their strategy and they want to get it all taken care of, make as little noise as possible, completely complete the DEX, and then roll it out, and then boom, they're making noise in the marketing. Boom, they're absolutely out there spreading their product, doing interviews on, I think that, that could be a very bullish way for them to go about it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe a full-fledged marketing campaign late Q4 from ADAX, where maybe they do push their product out more to the masses. And then obviously we're going to get listed on other exchanges past X markets, which is only going to help in the long run as well. I know we're about to hit 15 minutes. I got 2 minutes left because we're almost done with all these questions. There was a rumor Roger left floating around Reddits and stuff like that. Roger Ver, that is. Bitcoin Jesus is who he's referred to. But I know Roger Ver was in early on. Did he contribute anything other than investing? We were lucky enough to not have too many VCs on board. holding immense amounts of ADAX. It's mainly about retail investors and angel investors. Roger is still on board and hasn't sold any of his ADAX. He's here for the long run, so that is good to see. And then what is the biggest challenge working with the Cardano network? Don't get me started. I can name many, but in general, Cardano is still very early stages, and that is the truth. When can we do an open video AMA? They say that'll maybe be in the future, but they might have to clone themselves because they don't have that much time. Any plans for staking aside from X markets? We already talked about that. And then other than that, when can we expect to see the CTO himself speak? When we initially launched, we did an AMA with Muhammad, and he said, I'm never doing any marketing ever again. So that clears that up. That's why usually Dovydas is doing the marketing. He's the chief marketing officer. That just makes sense. Any listing update? Here we go again, still in progress. As soon as it's sorted out, we'll shout from the top of our lungs. You can be sure on that one. So KuCoin, stuff like that, that's probably around the corner, I would say. Probably end of this month, maybe early November at this point. It's getting late in October. And then as we see here, since the BitBoy partnership lasts for 6 months, will there be any more videos? More videos, tweets, articles, live stream mentions, etc. It's a 360-degree package. So that is good to see. Other questions really, it's like, will ADAX be out at the end of October? That's a little far-fetched. As he said, can't promise it, but Q4 still. So that's good. And honestly, I don't think anyone's expecting the DEX to launch in October. There's so many things, honestly, to take away from this AMA that are bullish sentiments, to be honest. And I think all in all, just hearing the fact that they do have a marketing strategy going forward to get more out there. The listing is still coming. The DEX launch is on pace for Q4. I think there's a lot of stuff to take from these answers and questions, and be bullish if you are an ADAX holder. That is just my opinion, but I am not an investment advisor. I just wanted to recap everything that you might have missed this morning. It was at like 8 a.m. my time. I know a lot of people missed it, especially by the sentiment of the chat. I saw so many people saying like, when's the AMA, and it had already happened. So I wanted to get this out there for anyone who missed it or couldn't stay attached and see these questions, or it's just thousands and thousands of messages up and you can't find them. So I'm here to take care of that. I appreciate y'all watching until the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts down below on the ADAX AMA and on ADAX moving forward. Let me know your thoughts on other Cardano blockchain platforms as well. Also, like the video if you enjoyed the video.